You had the opportunity to sit down in front of a group of young people, say 12, 18, so forth. What are some of the nuggets or what advice would you give to them in terms of life, in terms of decision making?
Because sometimes now, being young, you feel like some of the decisions that you're making won't impact your life for the long run, but they do. So to pray before making decisions, especially those that could potentially have long-lasting repercussions. Some don't like to listen to older people, but sometimes it is necessary to get the advice of older people who have been through what we have been through. They could tell you what not to do, and they could lead you from doing some of the things that they might have done that they felt wasn't right, or they felt that you might not need to go through. Gain advice of older people in certain situations. So I feel like that is a piece of advice. And also, again, probably sound repetitive, but is don't rush into a lot of things. That is good to take your time to just sit, weigh your different options, and don't just pick the first one that you see. That would be some more advice that I would give to some young people.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pregnant with Destiny with Stuck podcast. Today I am, as always, very excited to come to you and bring to you these episodes and these interviews and these wonderful guests. And today I have on the show with me a very special guest. I know her very well. I think I do. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. And we just thank you so much for, as always, supporting the podcast. And so I'm going to let Ms. Jadyn Thompson introduce herself. So introduce yourself to our guests.
Good day. My name is Jadyn Thompson. I am 22, and I am a recent graduate of the University of Buckingham School of Law, and I am starting bar school at the University of Law at the end of this month.
Excellent. You said 21, 22?
21 is fine. I turn 22 next month.
Wow. No, I don't even remember. I don't remember. I didn't remember 20. I don't know if I remember 20. Wow. That's really, youth is a blessing. Youth is a blessing. So tell us, Jadyn, tell us about you. What are your hobbies? What are things you like to do?
So I like to watch movies and TV shows. I do that a lot. I like doing it. And I am trying to start reading more. I want to start doing that. And to get back into drawing, as I used to. But since school, I haven't had much time to do it, so I want to start doing it back more. Okay.
So you call yourself an artist? You would call yourself an artist?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go so far as to call myself an artist. But I do it just for, I guess, relaxation purposes. It's kind of common for me. I like doing it more.
Okay. So what would you say are some of your talents and your gifts?
So that is something that I have been trying to figure out more. What will be my talent and my gifts? But I do think I would say that probably public speaking, because I enjoy doing it, and it's something that I found out that I can do more recently.
Okay.
Because before I used to have like extreme stage fright. Like I didn't like it. But over the years, I find that once I do it, and once I get on stage and I speak, that it comes more naturally and easier. Like the fear goes away. So I think that might be my gift or talent, I guess, would be that.
So how did you get over the stage fright? Because, stage fright and giving speeches, the fear of that's a common one with a lot of people.
It was more so something that I was like, I had to like force myself to do, because the first time I did it more so publicly would have been for Jay, because for my company, I was one of the VPs in the company, and it was a rule that all the VPs had to be in the speech competition. So I couldn't run from it. So I had to do it. And before doing it, it was like terrified. Like I was sweating, and like I really didn't want to do it. And through all of like the practices, I was horrible in the practices. And then on like the day of, then I had to like let's just do it and get it over it. And like when you go up and you go up there and like I look at the people in the room and I just like walk out with my parents and they was like smiling and like then I just like it's like you good, you can relax and like I did it and it came more naturally for me.
So it's just a matter of just keep doing it. Just practice.
Practice is extremely for me. Practice was important.
Okay, excellent. What other talents or gifts you think you could think about that you have as well?
I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'd like to do, but I don't know if I'd necessarily say that I am talented in doing it.
Okay.
But I love doing it.
Okay. So what would you say you're meant to do or you're supposed to do in life? What do you think that is?
I'd say probably helping. That was one of the things that I really wanted to do. That was probably one of the reasons that I wanted to go into medicine at first before doing law because I wanted to help people. So I think that would be something that I would say would be it.
Okay. So you feel a call to help people.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So as a young person, tell us of your journey into law.
So in high school, at first I wanted to do medicine. And that was the main thing that I wanted to do for a while. I wanted to become a surgeon. And then after doing the research on it and realizing how much years it took to do it, I was like, no, I ain't do that anymore. And I go back into law, do law over here. A lot of the lawyers went to one school, University of Buckingham, including my daddy. And so in doing it, it was like you could just do 2 years at UB and then go off to University of Buckingham. So I did that. I started 2 years at UB. I started doing bachelor's in finance. And then I didn't finish bachelor's in finance, but I transferred over to University of Buckingham and did the LLB, which I just finished in December. And now I'm going to do my bar practice course and the master's law at the same time, starting in June. Well, the end of this month, which is June.
Excellent. So what advice would you give to other young persons who want to do law, who want to study law?
I would say it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of reading, a lot of late nights, and possibly a lot of early mornings studying. But at the end of it, it's going to be worth it. When you get your law degree, you're going to feel like you accomplished something. It's going to be a sense of accomplishment and a sense of you achieve something. Once you start working and you start having clients and all of that, you're going to see that those late night studying and the many pages of reading that you've done and writing and essays are worth it. That you should push through it and keep going. Because this one moment of pain is going to have a lifetime of pleasure afterwards. So I'd say keep going and don't let the many lots of work that has to be put into it deter you from doing it and to keep going.
Has there been at any point in your life you've been stuck? You say you were stuck?
Probably not stuck, but feeling like I wanted to do something different and I didn't want the plan that was happening. For example, because my 12th grade year ended with COVID. And I really didn't want to go to UB. Nothing's wrong with UB. I went. You work when you're in UB, but I wanted to go off. And because of COVID, you couldn't go off.
Yeah.
So you have to realize that, and I feel like if I did go off, I wouldn't have been where I am now. I probably might have changed plans and probably would have done something differently. And I feel like sometimes you have to realize that certain things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
So I probably didn't go off for a reason, and I was meant to go do UB. I was meant to go to UK, and I wasn't meant to go to US. But if I had gone to the US, something else would happen.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't be where I am and had the experiences that I had it happen the way that I wanted it to happen.
Yeah. So sometimes life throws us curveballs, but sometimes it's meant to direct us in the direction God wants us to go into.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so what are the lessons you learned from that experience?
To be patient and to just wait, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes what's going to happen is better than what we wanted to happen. So to just be patient and to sometimes you have to let things play out and just see what happens, and to not get overly upset about it not going the way that I wanted it to go.
Yeah. Powerful, powerful advice. I like that. You start off with being patient, but a lot of young people struggle with that though. They struggle with being patient. They want, I think this generation and this time we live in is, I call it microwave. Everyone wants it quick and right away. So what advice would you say to young people in that area?
Sometimes you have to wait because you don't want to do things too quickly and you miss something that was valuable and that, or that you should have known. Sometimes when you work too fast, you miss a step, and that step might be a pivotal step or might be a monumental step that was needed to happen. So sometimes you just have to be patient and wait.
Agree, totally agree. Wait to wait, particularly for particularly I think when we serve God to see where He's leading us. If you had the opportunity to sit down in front of a group of young people, say 12, 18, so forth, what are some of the nuggets or what advice would you give to them in terms of life, in terms of decision making?
The one would be to pray before many big decisions, because sometimes now being young, you feel like some of the Hey, we're going to get back to our interview, powerful interview, in a moment. But I just want to take this moment to remind you to subscribe. What we notice, we have a large number of persons who are watching the episodes but are not subscribing. So please subscribe. Subscribe allows you to get notification of new episodes. And subscribe help us to take the message of this podcast to persons who need it. So we ask you to please subscribe. And not only that, share the episodes, share the interviews, share, make a comment if you feel inspired by what was said in the interviews and into the session. Please make a comment as well. So thank you so much. And so we go back to our session. Decisions that you're making won't impact your life for the long run, but they do. So to pray before making decisions, especially those that could potentially have long lasting repercussions. So just pray and try and hear out God's advice on what you should do. Also, I know a lot of young people, some don't like to listen to older people, but sometimes it is necessary to get the advice of older people who have been through what we have been through. Because sometimes they do know better, they've been through it, they could tell you what not to do, and they could lead you from doing some of the things that they might have done that they felt wasn't right, or they felt that you might not need to go through. Gain the advice of older people in certain situations. Why do you think young people struggle with listening to the advice of older persons? I think because sometimes you feel like you know it's best, because you might feel like, oh, I know myself, that I know it's best. Or you might just feel like, I could look it up and I could figure it out on my own. I don't need the help of other people. But sometimes some situations aren't as simple as just going online and looking up the answer and figuring it out. Sometimes you need someone to physically and actually guide you through certain situations and through certain decisions. So I feel like that is a piece of advice. And also, again, probably Simon Feder with is don't rush into a lot of things. That is good to take your time to just sit, weigh your different options, and don't just pick the first one that you see. So that would be some more advice that I would give to some young people. So why do you think you've been able to successfully navigate on your journey, and particularly up to this point, and not make bad decisions or not go off course? Why do you think that is? So one would be, I could be had sometimes I did in a lot of the major decisions when it comes to my, I guess, schooling for all would be I listen to my parents. A lot of times I call them and I ask them, oh, well, this is happening. What should I like? And this is what I think I should do. What do y'all think I should do? And kind of weigh it and then make a decision and not just making a decision. And also I pray 10's better before a lot of things. Before I make a decision, I pray. Before I sit an exam, I pray. Before I start my studying, I pray.
Excellent.
And I think that also did help.
Excellent.
Helped me a lot.
Okay. Very good. I like how you talk about prayer and how prayer is integrated in your life. So how would you describe your relationship with God as a young person?
As a young person?
Yeah, that's that really important for a young person.
I feel like it is important. I don't think my relationship with God is as I want it to be, but I try to work on it and try to strengthen that relationship. And I think for me, I think the one thing that I felt that I want to work on more is my consistency with it, because it'll be where I start off and I start reading my Bible every day, and then something comes up and I'm like, oh, I can't do it tonight. And then I fall off. And then I start back up again. Yeah. And it's like...
A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
Yeah. So it's...
struggle for a lot of people.
It's that consistency of it that I want to work on with mine. But my relationship with God is important. And I want to strengthen it, and I want to get a lot better than it is now.
But why do you think it's important for young people, though? Why to have a relationship with God or to have God in their life?
I think it's important because for me, I feel like God helps. So I feel like it's important for young people because when you can use His guidance, and when you pray, and He'll tell you which way to go and which way not to go. Also using the Bible as just as a compass and reading it, and it tells you, it helps you out, and it tells you where to go and what not to go, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. Even though it is hard sometimes, it is something that we should continue to work on as young people. And I feel like it's having God in life is good for guidance. It's good for when you're doing a lot of things.
Why do you think it's important for young people to have God in their life or to have a relationship with God?
For guidance, and then also for protection. As young people, you're going through life and you trying to find your way, and I think it's good for protection and for guidance, so that when we are trying to find our way, that we are not straying so far off the path. And for comfort, for me, sometimes if you're going through something and you praying, that gives you comfort that you ain't alone and that He is there watching and helping, and that even though sometimes you may not feel that He is helping, that He is. Now, there's more than likely a reason why we're going through this, so it ain't gonna always last. So I feel like that is a reason that young people need God in their lives.
Yeah, I like how you give some really good reasons, and when you look at the Bible, you see a lot of young persons who had relationship with God and how God helped them navigate. I was thinking with Joseph. I was thinking with young David, Mary, Ruth, young persons who's at their young teenage or young adult stage, they had a relationship with God, and God helped them to be successful, and God helped them to navigate. So you're right. It's very important, even though I think a lot of young people struggle in that area. But you're right, it's important. And then lastly, how do you define success? What is your definition of success as a young person?
For me, as a young person, okay, success would be accomplishing the things that you have in your mind. You put things that you want, things that you have on your mind. That would be success. It would be following through and completing things would be success, and it would be those things, happiness. And once you complete that happiness, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of completion that you just finished it, and that happiness, I think that would be success in it. And it wouldn't necessarily always be making the most money, but it would be when you are happy with what you have done, and you don't feel like you are wanting for a lot in terms of life. That's fine.
Yeah, so you're talking about fulfillment. Once you whatever you're working at, that you get a sense of fulfillment. I did my best, and I'm contented. I'm happy. Yeah, and you think all young people strive for that, or it doesn't really matter?
I feel like most young people strive for that. So I feel like most people strive for fulfillment, but at the same time, some people's sense of fulfillment might be different. So what might fulfill me might be different for somebody else. So for some people, it might be the amount of money they make, and that might make them feel like they have accomplished it. Like that might fulfill them. And for me, it might just be saying that I completed my law degree, and now that's my success at the moment. And then I will, when I get called to the bar, then that'll be a next sense of success for me. So I feel like it might differ for everybody else.
Okay. So it depends on what you're working on. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you're studying or have to study, what drives you? What makes you committed to studying?
The vision I have for my life in the future, I would say, and me knowing that completing this is one step closer to that.
Okay.
And that is what drives me.
Okay. Good. You've always had a vision for your life?
I think so. Yes, mom. I'd say that.
Okay. Good. Very good. No, I ask because, that's one of the things I always teach people to have a vision for your life, to have a plan. I'm very encouraged that you as a young person have that, because I always say to people, your life plan and life vision drives you. But even when you get derailed, even when things happen, but if you have a vision and a plan for your life, that'll keep you on track. That's very good that you have that as a young person. Why did you develop a vision or a life plan for your vision for your life?
I think I was thinking, my parents are the ones who were like, you should have a plan so you know what you're working towards. And you should have, I guess, the steps that you want to accomplish that plan.
Okay.
And sometimes even though you have those steps, life might not go according to those steps as you want it.
Yep.
So you might have to learn how to maneuver.
Yes.
And how to change sometimes. So I think my parents would have taught me and showed me that you need a plan, but you also need to know how to change when the plan doesn't come out how you want it to be. Yes.
Excellent job your parents did. Excellent job. Yeah. I always tell people that. I just recently told my daughter that too. I said, you need to have a plan. You have to know what do you want to do with your life, where you want to go. So very encouraged. Excellent job. And want to continue to wish you all the best in your journey and your studies. So what ending advice would you give to our audience as a young person?
As a young person, I probably just sum up everything we talked about today. So that it is good to have a plan, but it is also good to be patient and to learn how to maneuver when that plan doesn't fall into place how you want it to, when life doesn't happen how you feel like it should happen, that you should still be patient and you should still wait and see what God has in plan for you. Because a lot of times his plan is better than our plan for ourselves. And that would be my last few words.
Yeah, your 5 cents.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Yeah, I always say that to people. I said, as believers, have a plan, have a vision for your life. But remember, God has a plan and a vision for your life. And God's plan and vision for your life is going to override your plan. God always wins. But it's important for you to have a foundation, to have a plan and have vision, not just go through life just drifting. And you're doing a good job of, you have your plan, your vision, and you're moving forward. So I want to thank you and encourage you with that. Very good job.
Well, thank you.
So this has been the Pregnant with Destiny but Stuck. And we've had a really insightful, really good discussion with Jadyn Thompson. Just finished a law degree and she's on the road to completing her the practical part of law, the bar. And we want to encourage her and really encourage her to keep going. And we thank her so much for all of the nuggets. I would like to call them powerful nuggets and insight that she's given to young people. Create a plan, have a plan and vision for your life. And like she indicated, sometimes it may not go as you think or expected it, but learn how to adjust. And remember, God first. And so we thank Jadyn so much for being a guest on the podcast. And as always, please continue to support the podcast by subscribing to our channel, liking, comment, sharing the episodes. And once again, thank you so much. This has been the Pregnant with Destiny, but Stuck podcast. Thank you.